Welcome back to the PulpMX Fantasy Show presented by Maxxis Tire. I'm Donnie. This week we head to the Pacific Northwest before 2 weeks off to break for Loretta's. The player that picks the highest scoring team this week in the Championship League will be taking home a Carson Brown jersey. As always, I have 5 riders to pay attention to when picking your team, as well as an early look at my own. But before we jump into that, let's take a peek at who is in and who is out this weekend. Jet Reynolds continues to sit out, but his Pro Circuit teammate Carson Mumford looks to return this weekend in his place. Speaking of Carson's, Red Bull athlete Carson Brown makes his 2023 debut, but it will be on a 2-stroke. More on that later. In addition, we will see some former factory guys like Colt Nichols and Josh Hill line up, looking to secure a few SMX points before the outdoor season wraps up. Be sure to keep your eye on the red cross next to the rider's picture to denote an injury, as well as checking the box at the top of the page to only show riders that put down at least 1 lap in qualifying. All right, this weekend, 3 riders I want you to look at, 1 guy to stay away from, and a high handicap guy if you are looking for a flyer. 250 All-Star, I am highlighting Hayden Deegan here. After securing the red plate, he quickly relinquished it, going 5-8 at Spring Creek to bump his handicap up to a 4. He has finished in the top 5 64% of his motos this season and 4 of his last 6, marking him the guy with the most finishes inside his current handicap of the current All-Star crop in the 250 class. A double eligible guy in that class to keep your eye on this weekend is Seth Hammacher. After returning at Redbud, the 35 posted 5.10.75 moto scores, but a rough first moto at Spring Creek of 19th balloons his handicap up to a 2. He has been top 12 in 5 of 6, and if he could match that 5th place in both motos, you would score a cool 80 points. 450 All-Star, I am looking at Dylan Ferrandis. At this point, I'm just alternating Chase and Dylan, as they both seem to be firmly locked in as the 2nd and 3rd best guys behind Jet. Dylan has been top 3 in 79% of motos, with a worst of just 7th and an average finish of 3.5 this season. The guy I want you to stay away from this weekend is Jerry Robin. The 93 is an enticing pick every week, especially with his handicap gets this high. He could strike 100 at any time. But this weekend, Jerry is racing a 250 2-stroke, chasing the 2-stroke bounty that has eclipsed over $15,000. In fact, it is not just Jerry. Carson Brown, Brandon Ray, and even Kevin Moranz are all thought to be bringing the 2-stroke machine this weekend. It is not a death sentence for their fantasy results, but just be aware these guys might not be as sharp as they usually are, especially on a bike that they don't have as much time on. The high handicap hero of the round given to a rider with a handicap of 10 or more that I think has a realistic chance to score massive points this weekend if you're the type of person that likes to sweat a little for a big payout. This week, I am eyeing up Romain Pape. The Pope was once a regular top 10 threat, but something has gone awry as his results have been less than stellar with 3 DNFs in his last 6 motos. But that top speed is there, as is evident with his 15th in Moto 2 last weekend despite a 40th gate pick. Pape needs 23rd to double up, something he has done in every single moto, save for those 3 DNFs. FFL Hunter takes the lead back with 4 out of 14, despite a worse average gate pick and average start than Justin Cooper, who many would say is on the superior bike. Still a toss-up between those two, although Shimoda has been coming on strong this back half of the season, and if you have to ask about the 450s, honestly, you just shouldn't be playing. Gonna be a hot one on Washougal this weekend with a high of 87, but the benefit of all of that tree cover should help keep guys on the track instead of overheating. West Coast schedule means that qualifying coverage doesn't start until 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. RotoMoto patrons can expect that enhanced cheat sheet around 2:30 p.m., and the rest of you get the basic qualifying cheat sheet on Instagram and Twitter around 3 p.m. Eastern, with the picks locking and then the gates dropping at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific for 4 hours of dirt bikes screaming through the trees. Before I show you my early team, I want to talk about Maxxis Tire coming back for 11 rounds of outdoors so that I can deliver these videos for you. You know Maxxis Tire. You know their MXST tire designed by the king of Supercross and my all-time favorite rider, Jeremy McGrath. It is the newest and most advanced tire on the Maxxis MX lineup, featuring an all-new tread pattern, compound, and composition to provide the stability, predictability, and traction that the upper tiers of motocross demand. Available at your local retailer and also at motosport.com. My Thursday team has Hunter Lawrence at a 1, Seth Hammacher with a 2, the returning Carson Mumford at a 5, as well as rookie Ryder DeFrancesco also at a 5. 450 side, I have Dylan Ferrandis at a 2, Jason Anderson with a 1, Kyle Chisholm sporting a 7 handicap, and Shane McElrath boasting an 8. Thanks as always for watching the PulpMX Fantasy Show presented by Maxxis Tire. My name is Donnie, and may your chiz chiz this weekend. Remember that 8 is great. And most importantly, have fun. Good luck, y'all.